Well, Minister, I must admit I did come in here believing that, yes, we have really crossed a corner, because what had started out as a fantastic initiative caused a hell of a lot of difficulties and a hell of a lot of division in rural areas. And now I hear Senator Chambers here, who speaks about how us raising this as a major issue for rural areas somehow is a difficulty, because we represent the families that were impacted by this.
Point of order. I didn't reference any individual senator. I wasn't talking about you, Senator Dolan.
Right.
And with respect, I'd appreciate if you didn't target me personally for making my own comments, which I am perfectly entitled to do within my speaking slot. I never mentioned you.
I think a lot of senators in this chamber raised this as a major issue. A lot of senators in this chamber. And what I would like to say, Minister, is that this has caused, as you'd be aware, a lot of difficulties and a lot of division. I think that it is a fantastic initiative, but I have had to deal with families in tears, like many representatives here, every single public representative, in tears, trying to manage work, trying to get out of work to come and pick up children, that buses that they had relied on for years ahead of this, they couldn't rely on now. So I'm actually, I'm just pretty taken aback, I must admit. Okay, so the points that I would like to make, that I had intended to make when I walked in here earlier, was that the report for school transport, Minister, the report for school transport that you speak about, the effectiveness and sustainability, when are we going to see that report? Is that going to be by the end of this year? Because, Minister, we need to have notice, and I think Bus Éireann deserves notice. The teams that have been working in Bus Éireann deserve notice from the Department of Education at an early enough time so that they can plan ahead. And I know, Minister, that we have fought for budget, and we have a budget allocation here, and there are challenges with capacity, but we need early notice to Bus Éireann so that they can manage these capacity challenges. It has been particularly detrimental. It's been very difficult in rural areas where we don't have public transport, where we don't have infrastructure. This has been the huge challenge. As you've seen here, Senator Lombard representing West Cork, myself in East Galway and Roscommon, other senators here, Senator Garvey down in Clare, all the senators that are here to speak on this. Minister, I think that it is important, as has been noted, that when we're looking at this model for next year, we're going to look at a model that will deserve and benefit the families that are all across Ireland in terms of what's been delivered here. Minister, I suppose in terms of a career in driving, we need to incentivise people, particularly in rural areas, be it part-time farmers, part-time carers. What can we do to incentivise those groups living in rural areas to think about taking on being bus drivers? To think about having that, B licence or D licence, having a people carrier, having a minibus, being able to sign on for a PPQ with Bus Éireann. We need to do that as a Department of Education to incentivise and roll that out, working with Bus Éireann. We need to ensure that there's better access to capacity and resources. And Minister, I don't ever want to hear the stress, anxiety and absolute pure mayhem that was caused this year in terms of just bus transport and concessionary tickets. It is of definite benefit to see more rural transport in rural areas and safer pick-up and drop-offs for our schools, but very difficult to have seen what happened in the last couple of months. Garamagat.